Okay, it's our last day of the Magic Treehouse Pirates Past Noon, and Rocco is here. Hello, Room 5 and everybody else out there! I have finally learned that I can't just read the words, I've gotta make sure I'm understanding. You got that? You can't just read the words. Your brain has to always be thinking, do I get what's going on in this book? Right? That is important. You gotta remember your comprehension. Oh, I learned that word. Okay, so make sure that when you're reading, you make a picture. I like to close my eyes when Miss Lavecchio reads. And then I just lie down all cozy. And I listen to the words and I just think, ooh, I'm seeing a movie in my head that shows what's going on in this book. And sometimes I don't get it. So like Miss Lavecchio told me, I have to say, Miss Lavecchio, please stop, go back. I don't understand the book. Go back, let's reread it. I need to do some more thinking. Rocco, I'm so proud of you. Yeah, whenever you're reading, you have to think, do I get this? Right? That is such an important part of reading. Can we get to the book now? Okay, Rocco, what do you think is going to happen in this next chapter? Well, I think Annie and Jack are going to be back home because the treehouse was spinning around. But I don't know what's going to happen. What's the name of the next chapter? Oh, the next chapter is called The Mysterious M. Oh, let me look at it. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I think maybe we'll learn a little more information about this mysterious M medallion. Ooh. Rocco, you're so silly. All right, here we go. Chapter 9, The Mysterious M. Drip, drip. Jack opened his eyes. Rain was dripping from the leaves of the tree. They were back in Frog Creek. The rain was softer, the wind was gentler, the air was sweeter. Oh, man, Jack sighed. That was close. He was still holding the gold medallion. Polly's gone, said Annie sadly. I was hoping she might come back with us. No magic creature has ever come back with us, said Jack. He pulled off his backpack. It was damp with rain and salt water. Jack took out his pirate book. He put it on the stacks of books, on top of the dinosaur book and the night book and the mummy book. Then Jack put the gold medallion beside the bookmark with the letter M. Next, he went down onto his knees and ran his finger over the shimmering M on the floor. We didn't find any M's on this trip, he said. Or the M person, said Annie. What? Polly! Annie cried. The parrot swooshed into the treehouse. She perched on the stack of books. Polly looked straight at Jack. What are you doing here? He asked her. Slowly, Polly raised her bright green wings, then grew bigger and bigger until she spread out like a huge green cape. Then, in a great whirl of colors, in a blur of feathers and light, in a flapping and stretching and screeching, a new being took shape. Polly was not a parrot any longer. In her place was an old woman, a beautiful old woman with long white hair and piercing eyes. Oh, wow, look, Polly turned into this. She wore a green feathered cape. She perched on the stacks of books, and she was very calm and very still. Neither Jack nor Annie could speak. They were too amazed. Hello, Jack. Hello, Annie. The old woman said, My name is Morgan Le Fay. Oh my gosh, what an exciting chapter. Oh my goodness, quick, do something quick. Just retell what happened in that or act it out. Oh my gosh. Big stuff in this chapter. One thing we really need to make sure we understand is what happened to Polly the parrot. Oh my gosh. Ugh. The mystery of the M has been solved. Her name is Morgan. I'm wondering if that M is for Morgan. All right, let's read the last chapter. Chapter 10. Treasure again. Annie found her voice first. The M person, she whispered. Yes, I'm the M person, said Morgan. Where are you from? Asked Jack. Have you ever heard of King Arthur? Said Morgan. Jack nodded. Well, I am King Arthur's sister, said Morgan. You're from Camelot? Said Jack. I've read about Camelot. What did you read about me, Jack? Said Morgan. You're a witch. Morgan smiled. You can't believe everything you read, Jack. But are you a magician? Said Annie. Most call me an enchantress, but I'm also a librarian, said Morgan. A librarian? Said Annie. Yes, and I've come to the 20th century, your time, to collect books. You are lucky to be born in a time with so many books. Oh, for the Camelot Library? Asked Jack. Precisely, said Morgan. I travel in this treehouse to collect words from many different places around the world and from many different time periods. Did you find books here? Said Jack. Oh, yes, many wonderful books. I want to borrow them for our scribes to copy. Did you put bookmarks in them? Yes. You see, I like the pictures in the books. Sometimes I want to visit the scenes in the pictures, so all the bookmarks mark places I wish to go. How do you get there? Asked Annie. No, I placed a spell on the treehouse, said Morgan. So when I point to a picture and make a wish, the treehouse takes me there. I think you dropped this in dinosaur time, said Jack. He handed the gold medallion to Morgan. Oh, thank you. I wondered where I had lost it, she said. She put the medallion into a hidden pocket in her cape. So, can anybody work the spell? Asked Annie. Anybody who tries it? Oh dear, no. Not just anybody, Morgan said. You two are the only ones beside me to do it. No one else has ever even seen my treehouse before. Is it invisible? Asked Annie. Yes, said Morgan. I had no idea it would ever be discovered, but then you two came along. Somehow you hooked right into my magic. How? Asked Jack. Well, for 2 reasons, I think, explained Morgan. First, Annie believes in magic, so she actually saw the treehouse. And her belief helped you to see it, Jack. Oh, man. Then you picked up a book, Jack, and because you love books so much, you caused my magic spell to work. Wow, said Annie. You can't imagine my dismay when you started to take off for dinosaur times. I had to make a very quick decision, and I decided to come along. Oh, so you were the pteranodon, said Annie. Morgan smiled. And the cat and the knight and Polly, said Annie. And the cat and the knight and Polly, said Annie. Yes, said Morgan softly. You were all these things to help us? Asked Jack. Yes, but I must go home now. The people in Camelot need my help. You're leaving? Whispered Jack. I'm afraid I must, said Morgan. She picked up Jack's backpack and handed it to him. Jack and Annie picked up their raincoats. It had stopped raining. You won't forget us, will you? Asked Annie as they put their raincoats on. Never, said Morgan. She smiled at both of them. You remind me too much of myself. You love the impossible, Annie. And you love knowledge, Jack. What better combination is there? Morgan Le Fay touched Annie's forehead gently, and then Jack's. She smiled. Goodbye, she said. Goodbye, said Annie and Jack. Annie left the treehouse first. Jack followed. They climbed down the rope ladder for the last time. They stood below the oak tree and looked up. Morgan was looking out the window. Her long white hair blew in the breeze. Suddenly, the wind began to blow. The leaves began to shake. A loud whistling sound filled the air. Jack covered his ears and squeezed his eyes shut. Then everything was silent. Absolutely silent. Jack opened his eyes. The treehouse was gone. All gone. Absolutely gone. Annie and Jack stood for a moment, staring up at the empty oak tree, listening to the silence. Annie sighed. Let's go, she said softly. Jack just nodded. He felt too sad to speak. As they started walking, he put his hands into his pockets. He felt something. Jack pulled out the gold medallion. Look, he said. How did... Annie smiled. Morgan must have put it in there.